From riding Sova darts across the map and making impossible plays to being able to shoot while in Omen's ultimate. Here is Valorant's history of glitches. Starting off in April of 2020 during Valorant's beta, Cypher was able to shoot a gun using his camera. This was possible because Cypher's camera was initially coded to be a player entity, so it was able to pick up guns and shoot them by using the camera's built-in mechanic to shoot tracking darts. It basically turned the game into a 6 versus 5, and I'd be livid watching my whole team get mowed down by a Cypher camera. But not even 1 month later, another game-breaking glitch was found, and this one might have been even worse. Viper's wall was letting players fly across the entire map in whatever direction the Viper was aiming towards. You can see how this glitch would be disgustingly broken, and people were definitely abusing it. You could get your entire team to the enemy site within the first second of the round. This glitch was promptly fixed by Riot, thankfully, but just imagine if this existed today. One thing that you weren't able to do by flying on Viper's wall is walk through the spawn barrier though, and for that, Omen and Sage had you covered. All you had to do is have your Sage place a wall at the spawn barrier, and then have Omen teleport in front of her while she's up against the barrier, and Omen would be pushed outside of the barrier by the Sage. 2020 was such a great time. That's not the only thing that this duo was capable of though. Omen was actually able to teleport outside of the map by using Sage's wall as well. If Sage placed her wall half outside of the map with Omen on top, he would be able to teleport to the other side and start walking around on the outside of the map. This could be the only time your over there callout would be right. Sage and Omen were quite the duo back in the day. Phoenix was one of the most played agents of 2020, so people were bound to find some glitches involving him. You could glitch out Phoenix's ultimate and plant the spike anywhere on the map. You would start planting the spike in the ultimate, and it would continue planting while his ultimate ended and plant the spike wherever your body was. This was a pretty insane bug for obvious reasons. Just imagine some of the spots you would have been able to plant the spike in. This next glitch isn't as game-breaking as the others mentioned so far, but it's a pretty fun one. If you played Jett in 2020, you were able to hit super dashes using the ropes on Icebox that would put Neon's bunny hops to shame. You can make some pretty insane peaks using this super dash, and honestly, if I died to this, I'd find it pretty annoying. Heading into 2021, you might have thought that the Viper wall glitch was bad, but players were about to find out about an even worse version on its way. Sova's recon dart was allowing players to fly across the map at record speeds and get onto sites almost as fast as the enemy team. Seriously, right? Another bug that lets players fly across the map. One cool thing about this glitch though is that Sova could do it himself by putting one bounce on the arrow and shooting it behind him. Who said Sova couldn't entry? On the other hand of Sova's recon dart, Omen's ultimate ability has always been on the mysterious side of things, and there's not much more mysterious than being killed by a ghost. That's right, Omen was able to shoot and kill people while he was in his ult. Imagine holding Omen's ult, waiting for it to end, and he just ends up killing you and canceling it. I'd probably report them for cheating, but that's exactly what happened during this time, and there wasn't anything you could do about it other than run away. Another pretty bad glitch during this time was the Cypher camera bug. Cypher was able to put his camera in some spots that just allowed him to see through walls on the map entirely. There was even an incident during VCT, Valorant's biggest event, and it was on Breeze in a series between Vivo Keyed and Ascend. Jhow from Vivo Keyed was placing a camera above bricks that allowed him to see through the wall and towards sight, essentially making the camera invisible while still effective. You can see how this would be tilting, and Riot promptly forced Vivo Keyed to forfeit the map for using this glitch, so they did pay the price in the end. Cypher seeing through walls seems pretty bad, but what was even worse was the dynamic duo of Omen and Sage yet again, except this time they were able to actually get into the walls. Using Sage's wall and Omen's teleport at the same time allowed Omen to literally clip into the walls and play from the inside of the walls. You could be defusing the spike and literally just be shot from somewhere that doesn't actually exist. Somehow it feels like as time goes on, these glitches are only getting crazier and crazier instead of getting better. Though towards the end of 2021, Fracture had just got released and brought into the competitive map pool. For a while, you were able to hop off the zipline, land on this little ledge below the map, and just start climbing around the outside of the map. You could eventually just walk around the whole map and see everything through the walls as well. This glitch wasn't very practical, but it was around for a decent amount of time. A glitch that was a bit more practical though was letting players instantly break the doors on Ascent by using Yoru's clone on the corner of the door, placing Killjoy's alarm bot beneath the door, or throwing Raze's satchel slightly above the door. Instantly breaking the doors on Ascent gave you a pretty big advantage in any gunfight you wanted to take on either site. It was pretty unpredictable, and most Raze players were definitely taking advantage of this while it was still around. The doors on Ascent were pretty glitchy overall, and in this glitch there was even a way to get inside the doors. By placing a Killjoy turret on the outside corner of the door, you could use it to pinch the character model to get stuck inside of the door. Once inside the door, the killjoy could shoot freely at anyone. The funny part about this one is I don't think the player had any way of actually breaking the door, so if they were inside, they were just kind of stuck. 2021 was a pretty crazy year for glitches, but somehow 2022 got even crazier, with Viper being able to place her ultimate in very specific locations that would leave behind pockets not covered by the ultimate. Standing in between these pockets and the ultimate itself would allow you to see clearly through the entire ultimate. I personally remember this glitch, and there was a lot of people doing it at the time. This was also when Viper was an extremely overpowered agent. If I remember correctly, just walking through a wall would give you like 80 toxin damage instantly. This was definitely the best time to be a Viper man. This next glitch has nothing to do with Viper, but it feels just as toxic. This glitch was allowing Astra to buy a Marshall during pistol round. Since Astra always starts the round with a free start, she was able to place it, recall it, and then sell it for an extra 150 credits. This allowed her to buy either a Marshall, Bucky, or Stinger on pistol rounds. You can imagine how overpowered having a Marshall during the pistol round would be. It's basically the same thing as having a Marshall during a full eco round. The funny thing about this glitch is it came after they tried to nerf Astra, and then this happened. This glitch obviously gave a pretty unfair advantage to any team with an Astra, so it got patched very quickly. Something else that's pretty quick in Valorant though is Neon, and a lot like the earlier glitch with Jett, Neon was able to hit some pretty crazy movement and super slide across basically half of the map in some cases. There's just something with Valorant and being able to fly across the map in a second or two. This glitch wasn't as practical as the Viper Wall or Sova Dart glitch, but it definitely made some pretty funny moments while it lasted. They should honestly make a game mode where you can fly around on Sova Darts, Viper Walls, and Super Slide. I think it would be really fun. Now, Yoru's ultimate making him literally invisible just seems prone to glitches and bugs, right? Well, it is. Yoru was able to shoot enemies while in his ultimate for a short period of time if he used it right before getting detained and waited for the detain timer to run out. He was then able to pick up a gun and start shooting it. Funny enough, this glitch came while Yoru was receiving a nerf to his gun pullout time while exiting his ultimate, while having an accidental reverse effect. Moving on to 2022 brought a lot of things to Valorant, and bungee jumping was one of them. Fade released during this year, and if you used her C's ability on the right angles, you could trap the whole enemy team into bungee jumping for the duration of the C's. This glitch was actually game breaking, and I remember almost everyone was abusing it while it was around, but it was fun while it lasted. This next glitch was a pretty weird one. Your gun could actually randomly disappear out of your hands and leave you with just only hands. This glitch didn't impact gameplay, but it was pretty weird to shoot people with an invisible weapon. Now, Sage's wall, as you know by now, is no stranger to glitches, but this one isn't entirely her wall's fault. This content creator, Flow Sending, found out that if you wall up on certain spots on the map Pearl, you can actually hide your entire character model in the flowers, and then just wait for enemies to pass and peek out and kill them. This definitely wasn't a game-breaking glitch, but I'm sure it felt tilting to die to. 2022 was a pretty crazy year for Valorant glitches, but with 2023 having come to a close, it's time to look back on some of the craziest glitches of the last year. Early on in the year, when Bind came back in the map pool to replace Split, you were actually able to use Jett to updraft onto a pixel in the backside cubby. I remember everyone was using this angle in every rank game until it got patched. Thankfully, it got patched pretty quickly, because I can't say walking out A short and instantly being shot at by Bigfoot was very fun. Bind wasn't the only map bringing glitches into the game though. Lotus released early 2023, and if you were standing on top of either door with agents like Jett or Omen while it was spinning and the round was ending, you could spawn in between the spawn barriers at the start of the next round. You could make some pretty crazy entry plays with these spawns. This wasn't even the only glitch with the doors on Lotus either. You were able to Phoenix ult on the edge of where the door would close, and it would put you in the wall of the door and let you shoot out of it. There's been a lot of glitches where you could die to someone you literally couldn't see. But speaking of being shot from the sky, Deadlock released towards the middle of 2023, and with her came a pretty insane glitch using her wall. As a Jett player, you could actually updraft on top of Deadlock's wall, and people were coming up with some pretty crazy angles to use this. Jett at the time had 2 updrafts, and that enabled her to play pretty much anywhere a Deadlock wall could be thrown. This bug was pretty insane, but Ride was really quick to patch this one as well. Leave a like and subscribe if you enjoyed, and let me know in the comments if there's something you think I missed.